Hello, everyone. This is getting out later than I had anticipated. It's been 3 weeks since my surgery, well, 3 weeks tomorrow, and I must admit it has been much harder than I had anticipated. Um, so I had a cluster of attacks, angina attacks, before the surgery because my stress level was so high. But then the day of, everything went fine. I got to the hospital. I highly recommend Woodstock Hospital. Very friendly, helpful people. So, anyways, they weren't able to do the spinal for the surgery, so they ended up putting me completely out, which I actually prefer. I really didn't want to know what was going on or what was happening or have any awareness at all. So I was fine with that. Coming out of the anesthetic this time, and it wasn't a problem, I don't think, but it took me a long time. I was very dozy. It took me several hours to fully become awake again. Um, Surgery was I think I was in surgery at 10:30, out at about 12:30, and I really didn't feel awake again until about dinner time. Um, yeah, dinner didn't go well. I didn't know that um, being put under could make you be ill. So dinner didn't settle, but by 8 o'clock, I was okay, and the nurse was very nice and got me a sandwich from the nurse's station, so I had sustenance. Um, and they had me on, I don't know what they had me on at first. There was intravenous antibiotics at first. And whatever they were giving me for the pain wasn't sufficient. I just so uncomfortable, um, and in a lot of pain. So they ended up giving me an injection. Um, and over the course of being there, probably about 24 hours, um, well, that's from surgery time. So recovery time really would have been just the overnight period. I ended up getting 3 injections over the evening so that I could sleep. And then in the morning, of course, they got me up to go to the bathroom, and I had not anticipated that much pain. Um, I don't know if anybody can relate, but that first moment of putting pressure down on my leg, um, like everything ceased to exist. It was just bright white pain for a moment. That was all existence was pain. Um, so that thankfully only lasted a moment. I didn't pass out, thankfully, which is one reaction I tend to have to pain. Um, so I learned to lean extraordinarily heavily on the walker, so there was very little weight on the leg. And I managed to get myself to and from the bathroom. Um, so they ended up giving me Percocet to help manage the pain. That was the only thing. Having 2 of the Percocet, the only thing that really touched it the first several days. Um, and I had gone sent home the next day, no problem. Well, except they tried to send me to physio while in the hospital in the morning, about 9 o'clock, and got me down there in a wheelchair. I managed to walk with a walker to a set of stairs that they had to practice doing steps on. And I used crutches to get up 2 steps and then down the steps. And they tried having me walk back over to the tables that they had. Excuse me. And I only made it about halfway there, and I asked that it was too painful. Could I get a chair? And so they wheeled me the rest of the way across the room. And they had me do a couple little exercises, basically wiggling my foot. Then they tried to have me do an exercise where you slide your heel up, so you're bending your knee and lifting your leg up, and then sliding your heel out again. I moved my heel, and the pain was just too much. I burst into tears. The poor lady who was trying to help me. Um, she ended up getting me an ice pack and set a timer for 15 minutes to come and check on me again, and just tears were just running down my face. Um, by the time she got back to me, I was barely conscious because the level of pain was just too high. And coincidentally, at that point, the surgeon came and found me. Um, so I kind of had to explain the situation that I have a very strong vasovagal reflex, which means when you tend to have your fight or flight response, my response is to pass out. Um, so they gave me a nice cold cloth to put on my forehead and back of my neck, and they gave me some time. And then they went and found my nurse from the ward, and she got me and took me back up to the room, gave me some more pain meds, let me rest a bit, and then I got to go home with some lovely Percocet. Um, but I wasn't really given directions for taking the Percocet, so I just, sorry, I'm all wobbly here. So I just followed the directions on the package, which said take 2 every 4 hours for pain as needed. And I was in a lot of pain, so I took them 2 every 4 hours. Um, and I ran out of them very quickly. It's only a couple days, 2.5 days, and I ran out. So everybody is very concerned about the effects of opioids. So I said, okay, I try to deal with over-the-counter medication instead. So I switched to Advil and Tylenol, and it did not cut it. I over the next 2 days, I slept maybe 5 hours in total here and there because I was just so uncomfortable and so much pain. Um, and it wasn't the muscle, it wasn't the incision, it was the bone. The bone hurt. Like part of what they do is they drive a spike into your femur, and I could feel that. It hurt. Um, yeah, so that was a bad couple days. Called the surgeon and talked to him. Got some more Percocet. Agreed that it was only for sleeping, so that was fine. That's what I needed. So I've been taking it at bedtime and middle of the night so that I could sleep, and then just over-the-counter drugs through the day to manage the pain. And yesterday was my last day with the Percocet, so I seem to be fine. Dealing with just Advil Tylenol at this point. It's managing the pain. Um, but I still find at that 3.5 hour mark, when the meds are wearing off, I'm getting very twitchy and antsy and uncomfortable. Um, so I still getting there. I'm not quite there yet. Um, anyways, so I thought I would give you this update. I hope I'm coherent. I'm still very tired. I'm napping a lot. Um, but I am moving around the house. I have gotten out for a walk. I have gotten to a physio appointment. Yesterday, I had my about 3 week follow up with the surgeon. Everything's fine. I got the dressing off and the sutures removed. The doc says everything's fine. And tonight I get to shower. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm really tired, but I'm really looking forward to showering. Um, yeah, and then tomorrow is going to be physio again, so we'll see how that goes. Um, Hopefully, I'm feeling a bit more energetic because I'm just so tired after the doctor's appointment yesterday. So there you go. There's an update. 3 weeks. And I will be using a walker for another 3 weeks, the doctor says, just to give the muscles that were uh, stitched together time to finish healing. So hopefully after that I'll be able to progress to a cane and we'll be able to put more weight, pretty much full weight on the leg at that point. Not quite full weight bearing yet. Yeah, so I guess it's different for everybody. Some people it's not terribly painful. Unfortunately for me, it was. But now I am not regretting it. The first week I was having a lot of regrets. I was thinking this was bad. It was a bad decision. But now that I've turned the corner, getting a little bit better every day, except for being so tired today. Um, so I think it's going to be okay. I think this is going to end up being a good decision. So I probably won't post again until after Christmas at this point, which is just on the weekend. Only a few days away. Let's see if I can show you my Christmas tree. Does it spin? There. There. So we've managed to do Christmas, even though the family hasn't had me around much to help, which is lovely to see. So I guess, given the time, I know this probably won't be relevant when you watch this, but for now, Merry Christmas and thanks for watching.